Oh, sorry. I'm live. Doesn't always come on when then it jumps 10 seconds, so I try to fill in the space. But anyhow, as you can see, Lucy's here, rather lethargic. She gets like that sometimes. She's not allowed to run right now because the mud out there is just. I can't walk where she can run, and I don't want to have any problems like that right now because it's just too slippery. And I don't want to wear my heavy boots because that just tires me out, and then I don't want to walk anymore. I just want to go to sleep. Oh, sorry. Hi. Anyhow, uh, the government shut down temporarily, I guess, because they were waiting for the House Monday. So I don't doubt that it's going to be a serious shutdown, unless Trump's people in the Senate tried to put something in the bill that the Democrats don't want, and then they're going to fight about it. The point about this situation is that when politicians fight about issues and whatnot, the people that suffer are the common people, the run of the mill people. I don't want to say common because that sounds like poor, but poor suffer a lot, and the rest of us don't. If it doesn't affect us, we don't pay attention to it because it doesn't mean anything. It's just bullshit. That's what it is. It's bullshit. These people were elected to serve us, not for us to serve them. And Trump's philosophy is that you're here to serve me. I want you to go around and applaud me and laugh at me and everything else. And I'm sorry, but I can't do that. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here. I got to do some stuff when I'm doing this. I hope you guys don't mind. Anyhow, oh, I got the caps lock. I always have the caps lock on. I don't know why I do that. I know because I'm too lazy to take it off. And that's very difficult. Just confuses me. Everything confuses me. But anyhow, I was screaming about Trump, small minds, small dick, small hands. When he hears stuff like that, he gets crazy. He gets absolutely berserk. That's why he's got Melania on his side. That's why he had all his wives are gorgeous because he's trying to impress people with the fact that he can get a good looking woman. Well, billionaires have a tendency to don't date ugly women, okay, or average looking women or plain looking women for the most part. They date fantastic looking women because it's good for their ego and it's a prestige thing. You don't want to be seen with a common looking woman. You have to have the. That's all goes back to the way back when days. You never saw an ugly queen unless they were witches. Yeah. So you have to go about this strange way, and that's just what happens. But anyhow, uh, I don't know what else is going on today. Not much. John, what's his first name? Lemon is a reporter that's being charged again, not again, still for something that happened. That's ridiculous. They should really crack down hard on this thing to stop it. You know what I'm saying? There goes the wife. As you can see, Lucy's exhausted. I don't know why. I'm the one that's old and gray. She's young and vivacious. She's bored with me, though, because, like I said at the beginning, that she can't run because I won't let her because of the mud. So everybody else's dog does, and everybody else walks in the mud. That's fine. I said, but when I fall, I can't get up. So, without help. So I try to avoid the situations where I'm going to fall. I'm okay on the concrete because my stick, I have my stick with my walking stick, and that gives me balance, and I don't have any problem with that. And the flatter the surface is, the better I can walk. I don't even need the stick, you know. But that's just the way it is. Anyhow, I don't think we're going to be here long because I haven't got anything to talk about. I'm off tomorrow, but as I said in my other video, that this isn't going to be the day I wanted it to be because the family's coming over tomorrow. I thought they would come today and I'd be all free tomorrow and do all these crazy things I want to do. So I got to try and get them done today. I might be taking a day off during the week. You have to keep your eye on the videos. I'll give you a day or so notice on that. Taking a day off. We'll see what happens. I'm getting worried about my wife because the doctors aren't doing anything for her. They're just testing her and testing her and testing her and testing her and testing her. If she was in the hospital, she would have been in the hospital for a month. Jim's there saying hello to Lucy. Yay! Oh, wow. Anyhow, let me check that. There we go. Making everybody happy. So anyhow, like I said, I haven't got anything to talk about today. There's no football to talk about. There's no, this is that's done for us. Except next Saturday we'll talk a little bit about the Super Bowl probably. Um, it's one of the most watched sporting events of all time. But it's been my experience that the playoffs leading up to the Super Bowl are some of the best games you'll see all year long, and that the Super Bowl has a tendency to be anticlimactic, you know. But you got a quarterback story going there, you know. You have Sam Darnold, who's really was a castaway by the New York Jets that bummed around the league. Last year, he was in Minnesota, made it to the playoffs. The draft didn't re-sign him. He signed with Seattle, and now it looks like he's going to go to the Super Bowl. It just goes to show you that environment and coaches have a lot to do with the how teams advance and what affects their career. Who was the quarterback? I can't remember his name. He just turned down one coaching job too. But anyhow, he was drafted by the New York Giants and refused to play for the New York Giants, and went to play for the San Diego Chargers, I believe. And he was there as a long time quarterback. He was a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback. But Manning went to the Super Bowl and he didn't. He never did. So what can I tell you? It's choices you make in life, you know. And it's got to do with that. I think he recognized the situation in New York as bad management. They just weren't getting the right players to mesh together. And there was a lot of emphasis on the defense. It still is. That team's always been known to have above average defenses, even when they suck. So. But that's football. No more football for a while. Next week, that's it. I don't know what I'm going to do with my Sundays after that. But I'm still not going to be on. I'll probably do some craft work and whatnot, which I've been trying to do I've got several projects I have to do. And it might be on because you get tired fast, which is, a problem. What's he say? Fitness. That's good, man. I like that. Okay, let's go. Is the story there? Okay. You know, this thing makes me change things all the time, you know? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what TV is, Jim. TV is escapism. People get all bent out of shape. They go to the movies and stuff like that, and they're looking for realism. That stuff's all escapism to me. I don't give a crap how unrealistic the movie is, if I'm allowed to mess with it. You know, if I could just think about, you don't have to think about it too much. You know what I mean? I don't really like a lot of movies. You know, I read, and people say, "Well, what do you read?" I see. I read. Well, I guess you would call them almost. They would be referred to in the long time ago as dime store novels, mystery thrillers, adventure stories, uh, occasional sci-fi. Um, Sci-fi is difficult for me to read because it's more of a fantasy. You know what I mean? So I do that, and people say, "Do you read a lot?" Well, I average about between 300 and 600 books a year. You know, it depends on what's going on in my life. The last couple of years, it's been around 300. You know, so that's where I'm at. But I can read. I'm a speed reader. I read very very quickly. Uh, my mother discovered I was a speed reader when I took the book Godfather she lent me by Mario Puzo and read it in a little over a day, something. And next thing you know, she asked me something the next day. I said, I don't remember, you know. And then I said, ask me tomorrow. And she asked me tomorrow the next day, and I could recite lines to her. That's the way my mind works. You know, it's kind of a delayed reaction. It's a processing that's going on. You know, they're printing up copies of it or stuff in my brain. I don't know. I'm a little crazy at times. That's what made me a successful bartender. My ability to see things other people don't. See, I recognize something the same time most scientists recognize it, but people they don't tell me. You have to stick around and listen. Try to figure it out yourself. Is that movement is over here? Okay, you recognize movement over here, and you learn that once you start shooting for going hunting and things like that. You'll learn that peripheral vision is very very important. More so, it is to a degree to a basketball player too. But basketball players are, for some reason or another, don't use it. For some reason or another, don't use it that well. You know, they have to be highly intelligent, and they have to be. Um, I guess not a shooting star. They have to be a different kind of star. And you're right, Jim. Reading is much better than movies because you use your imagination. Many times I've watched. Let's see, what was I could give you an example of one. I don't remember the titles of some of the movies I've watched. I've read the book too, but I don't. If I read the book, I never watch the movie. I learned that right away because it's not the same. The book is usually better. You know, occasionally I will, go back from a movie to a book, but I try to just stay in one genre for if I like something. And most of the time, if I find the book before I see the movie, I read the book because you use your imagination. Your mind is focused. It's so easy to fall asleep in a movie, because there's so much garbage going on. It's not really relevant to the story. And like I say, I'm a speed reader. I'm very impatient when I read. I want to find it really relevant to the story. And like I say, I'm a speed reader. I'm very impatient when I read. I want to find out what the ending is. And I have a problem with a lot of mystery stories is that I'll get to like 20, 30 pages into the story, and it's so badly written that you know the ending. And you skip to the ending, you just, yep, that was it. Exactly what I thought it was. So, you throw the book out. Don't even keep it. It's not worth it. You know? Oh, well, listen up. Jim, I'm taking off for the rest of the weekend, dude. Have a great weekend. He's the one that's here when you hear me talking to Jim. Jim's one of my followers, and he's always here. So anyhow, I'm saying goodbye now, Jim, and I'll talk. Lucy's saying goodbye too, although it doesn't look like she's talking. We have telepathic connection. Okay, so you guys all take good care, and I will see you Monday, Jim. All right, have a great weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.